episode 464 of the Pittsburgh Nerd Podcast. I'm Sean.
And I'm Ian, and this is the only podcast that says...
Hello, Guillermo. Did you bring more people to yank on my pee-pee?
Nice.
Yeah. How are you, sir?
I'm good. You?
Not bad. Not bad at all. Just doing my thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. I finished watching all 3 seasons of What We Do in the Shadows.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
How'd you like that?
I enjoyed it. Like, it was as good as advertised.
Yeah.
I think, I'm trying to figure out why Matt Berry isn't a bigger star.
Yeah.
He's fucking hysterical on that show.
Yeah.
But overall, I like the show as a whole.
Yeah, it's good.
I thought there were more seasons for some reason. I thought there was like 5 or 6 seasons. There's only 3.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I was like, kind of surprised when they came to an abrupt halt. I'm like, I thought I had more. Shit. But overall, I enjoyed the heck out of it. I laughed my ass off like every single episode.
That's what it's supposed to do, right?
Yeah. So that's what I've been watching this week.
Oh, really?
Yeah, was that? It was something I've been meaning to watch, and I was like, why aren't you watching it? So go ahead and watch it. So I did. And I'm glad I did, because I enjoyed the hell out of it.
Yeah, it's cool.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to the next, whenever the next season comes out, whenever that may be.
It's fun.
Yeah. But last week we had the big P&P adventure.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. We went to the Steel City Con.
Yeah.
We had 2 very different experiences.
You did?
Well, yeah. Like, I bought my tickets in advance.
Oh, yeah.
And I think you got into the building before I did.
Yeah.
Like, I was, like, fuming about that.
Really?
I was, because it was like, because my thought process is, okay, they said, I bought my tickets in advance. I should just be able to walk in and somebody right there at the door scans my thing and puts the bracelet on me or stamps me, whatever they want to do, and I'm in. There should have been like a very simple process. No, I had to stand in line for fucking 15 minutes. And those people are like, I hate to say this because like the Steel City Con, at one point when we first started this podcast, was a very tiny toy convention.
Yeah.
That has evolved and grown into the biggest pop culture convention in the Pittsburgh area.
Yeah.
And like even going on day 3, which traditionally was a very slow day, that place was packed to the gills.
It was.
And like for the fact that I had to stand in line for 15 minutes as somebody who prepaid for their ticket was just shocking to me.
Yeah.
And meanwhile, like you got right in line and like got in the building like a good 10 minutes before I did.
Yeah, Bree purchased them outside.
Yeah.
And then we just went into the line and they stamped us and we're...
Yeah. I was like, you've got to be fucking kidding me. And then, like, the whole reason we went was so Nancy could get Darby Allin's autograph. Darby Allin, he's a professional wrestler.
Uh-huh.
She's like her new favorite wrestler. And, like, we get in line, and he's not there. And he apparently, like, they decided, or he decided, like he wasn't, like he had an 11:45 photo shoot. Like, they do these, the professional photography.
Yeah.
And so at 11, he decided not to show up till 11:45 to do that. And then after a half hour of that, then came over and started signing autographs. Mm-hmm. So like I literally stood in line for an hour and a half before he even started signing anybody's.
Yeah, yeah.
And when we finally got up there, it was great. Like Nancy, starstruck like a goon, you know. And he was cool. We took, the guy a selfie with him and everything. And, but then, like, getting out there, like, it was, like, so fucking packed. I was just surprised. I shouldn't have been, but like, I think my biggest takeaway was I couldn't believe how many people they were jamming into that facility.
Yeah.
Because it felt overdone. Like there was too many people in there.
I think there was.
Yeah. And like I said, like normally like that with that convention, like Sunday was like the slow day.
Yeah, usually Sundays are slower.
Yeah. And I don't know if it was just because it was like, Chevy Chase was there. Or, I mean, all he was doing was on Sunday was signing autographs. There was no Q&A or anything.
Yeah.
But I mean, like, I was surprised at how I didn't feel comfortable stopping to look at stuff.
No?
No. Like, it felt like, I felt like I was like a trout in a stream, just following the current.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, it was very hard stopping to look at stuff. And, like, we hooked up for a little bit.
Yeah, we got separated.
And we got separated. And at the end, like, we were Nancy, there was some posters Nancy wanted to buy. I ended up buying a Cody Rhodes figure. But while we're looking, this gentleman in an electric wheelchair slams the fuck into me.
Get out of here.
I am not kidding you. He wants to look at these stickers that are right in front of me.
Yeah.
No, hey, could you move over? And there was nowhere for me to move, by the way.
Yeah.
But just slams his like right into me. I kind of turn and look, like ready to say something. I'm like, I can't say nothing.
Oh, I would have shit threw him out of the wheelchair.
Yeah, I mean, finally somebody came over, and they were like, "Hey, my friend would like to look at these stickers. Can you move over a little bit?" I'm like, as soon as the line does, I will.
Yeah.
Just give me a minute. I guess, there's nowhere for me to move to.
Yeah.
And because I'm trying to purchase something. He's like, oh, okay, great, thanks. And, the second I could move, I moved. And he, like, fucking jammed his wheelchair right in there. I'm like, motherfucker.
Flattened his tires.
Yeah, I was like, like, at that point, I was like, I'm a sweaty mess. I'm like,
yeah.
I am ready to kill somebody. And I don't care if you're in a chair. I'll fucking yank you out of there, Professor X.
Yeah, that's what you should have called him. Ease up, Professor X.
Yeah.
Yeah. Slow down, Professor X.
Yeah.
You're fucking banging into my shins.
Yeah. I was like, son of a bitch.
Rude.
Yeah. Like, luckily that was like our last stop, and like we're getting out. Like, I didn't even like saying that to Nancy, because like Nancy would be like, I would have said something. I'm like, I'm not trying to be that guy. Yeah, because in the age of the cell phone, like all of a sudden, like I'm going viral because I'm fucking cussing out a guy in a wheelchair.
Right.
Like, what the fuck, man? The next thing you know, I'm on fucking Facebook. Fat man accosts man in wheelchair.
News at 6.
Yeah.
Professor X fights the Juggernaut.
Yeah, exactly. I don't need that.
Yeah. Anyway.
Yeah, so I could just see it in my head, like it's just me like cussing out this guy, like ripping him from like top to bottom, just like just completely tearing him apart, like verbally, and like meanwhile, and he starts crying or some shit, because he wants to look at stickers, and I'm going viral because look at this motherfucker, look at this son of a bitch, what a rude bastard,
You're banned from the con.
Yeah, exactly. Never to come back.
Yeah, I went in and it was just so crowded. And
like even the vendors are too packed together.
Yeah. I went in to go see Christina Ricci.
Yeah.
And that was good.
Yeah.
And then Sala was next to hers, and everybody got their autograph. His autograph, sorry.
Yeah.
but I was in the. I got one from Christina Ricci,
Yeah.
and they got one as well, and then they had
Yeah.
their signed.
Yeah, so there was the Casper connection there.
Yes.
For them. That was a big deal.
Yeah. So mine was, Wednesday Addams.
Yeah.
But Ricci seemed a little nervous. I don't know. Not nervous, but
Yeah.
maybe because there were so many fucking people.
Like I don't know. Like, I mean, she still seems like a big enough star that, like, I was surprised she was there.
Yeah, me too.
And I was also surprised, like, they had, like, 'cause they have a back room where, like, they had Sting, Chevy Chase, and Robert Englund.
Yeah.
And I was surprised because Christopher Lloyd was there.
Yeah.
I mean, they had him blocked off in an area where, like, they had a controlled line. I think the same with Christina Ricci. But I thought for sure, like, you'd have them, like, kind of sequestered away.
Yeah, well, Barenthal was there too, and he
Yeah.
he had his own line as well.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
wrapped behind that
Yeah.
aisle.
Yeah, like a Kennywood line.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so we waited in line for a little while. But once she started signing, it started moving pretty good.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was good. And then we met what's his name from Empire Records or That Thing You Do. Or,
Yeah.
What's his name?
I can't
He
remember.
played Mark in fucking
Yeah.
Empire Records.
He's the guy who literally says, "No, we must not dwell, no, not today, not on Rex Manning Day."
Yeah.
Yeah, that guy.
Then famous line too was shoplifter, and I
Yeah.
mean he had a ton of lines in that, but he was also in That Thing You Do. He's been in a lot of stuff, and but the interesting thing about it, really cool guy.
Yeah.
Like he hand sanitized between every person that he
Yeah.
was with. Like he was really adamant about it, and even his handler was like, "Can you please sanitize before you
Yeah.
come up?" And we were like, "Cool, yeah."
Yeah.
And we had masks on, most of it. I mean, most of the time.
Yeah.
And it was just funny because I said he had a Faces of Death T-shirt on.
Yeah.
And I was like, man, that's a cool shirt, dude. I was like, I haven't seen Faces of Death in years.
Yeah.
We start talking about Faces of Death. And stuff,
Yeah.
but, it's funny. But he was a cool guy, very personable,
Yeah.
nice. And then the girls went and stood in line for Robert Englund for I don't know how long. They
Yeah.
got the autograph. With Nancy.
Yeah.
Not with her, but
Yeah.
they already had hers.
Right.
They got like 6 years ago. And so now that completed that photo.
Yeah.
So that was cool for them. I just wasn't going to stand in that line.
No.
So yeah, that was cool. Did that. And walked around. Bought some stuff. Books were way overpriced.
Yeah.
Toys were way overpriced. I thought.
Yeah.
But I'm trying to think anything else happened at that con. Saw Chad, our friend Chad,
Yeah.
and that's about it. I didn't really look at many vendor shit. Well, I looked at vendor stuff in the main hall, not the one with the personalities, but
Yeah. 'Cause that was like the artist alley.
Yeah.
In the back room.
yeah. It's just they really don't have. It's a good con if you want autos.
Yeah.
And if you're looking for some rare toys, you might be able to find something there.
Right.
But for artists, it's not a good con.
No. No, you're
'cause
probably better off
no-
going to the Three Rivers Con next month.
Yeah, there's no.
Yeah.
They don't bring in artists.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It's not a comic book convention; it's a pop culture convention. Is the problem?
Yeah.
So like they don't look at getting like comic book artists and stuff like that.
It's kind of misleading though,
Yeah.
in a way.
Right.
If you don't read up on it.
Right. But so like Three Rivers Con is a true comic book convention.
Yeah.
Like they don't have big celebrities. They have like independent artists and
Right.
guys from like
Marvel and DC and stuff like that.
Yeah, stuff like that. So
But still on a lower level than like
yeah.
a New York con.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
But it was still cool, you know.
Yeah.
So there was that. So yeah, we did that. And yeah, you're right though. It was busy.
Yeah, it was much busier than I thought it was going to be. Like I assumed it was going to be busy. Like I wasn't assuming like I was going to be like the only person walking the aisles, but like it was really crowded.
Yeah.
And like it's like a situation where it's like, are they too small still to go to like down to the convention center?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because I feel like they're outgrowing that building in Monroeville.
They are, but they probably don't want to pay the convention center prices.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right. So I mean, but they're kind of in a weird spot where like they do need a bigger building than what they're in. It's just like the next step up is too big and too expensive.
Right.
You know.
Yeah, I don't think they're big enough for the convention center yet.
Yeah.
I don't know though.
I was surprised Three Rivers Con is going there this year. They're down at David L. Lawrence.
Oh, really?
I was surprised by that because that is a small con.
Uh-huh.
I mean, don't get me wrong. Like, I mean, they moved it down. I mean, it used to be in Century 3 Mall,
Yeah.
and then they moved it. I think one year they in Kaufman's, the old Kaufman's down there at the waterfront.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, and now, like they did 2 years of COVID where it was like out in the parking lot.
Yeah.
And now this year they're taking it down to the convention center in downtown Pittsburgh, which I was like, wow, that's a bold move.
Yeah, because it's not that big of a...
No, it's not that big of a con.
Yeah.
Yeah, and there's like no big, like, unless you're a comic book fan, like a hardcore comic book fan, like you don't go to this convention.
Yeah,
You know? But I wish them nothing but the best of luck.
yeah.
You know? Yeah, that was like my excitement for the week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I haven't been doing anything either, really. I watched Pennyworth. Trying to finish that out.
Yeah.
Watched the Spider-Man again.
Yeah.
Man, that's good.
Yeah.
It is good.
I gotta watch it.
What else? Trying to think. Oh, Halo. Watched more of that. Wow, that's good.
Is it? Let me ask you. I've never played a Halo game.
I have,
Right.
but I don't remember.
Right. So I don't know any of the mythology. I mean, I know who Master Chief is, and that's about it.
I think I don't think you need to know much going into this.
Okay. Because it does look very, very good.
Yeah, this starts you off with it's square one, and
Okay.
and lets you you have to try to figure things out.
Right.
It's not like I can't remember anything from the game, and I'm watching this, and I love it.
Okay. Because like I said, I'm obviously not going to get the Easter
And I
eggs.
don't even know if I follow it.
Yeah.
I don't know. What I'm saying is I don't know if it follows. I don't even know if it follows the Halo game.
Right. I'm sure there's some of the mythology tied into it.
Oh yeah.
You know, but like other like I don't want to go into it and just be like, you know, boom, this is what's going on.
Nope.
I you know.
This starts from square one.
Okay.
Yeah.
Then I want to give it a try because it does look really good.
Because this starts off with Master Chief as Master Chief.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? I mean,
Yeah.
it starts from square one.
Right.
And it goes from there. So, I love it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's phenomenal. I didn't think it would get any better. Like, I thought it was good, real good. But
Yeah.
I didn't think it was going to get any better until I watched the last 2 episodes.
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, it gets better.
Yeah.
Yeah, I really dig it.
Okay, I'll have to give it a try.
Yeah, it's good science fiction.
Yeah.
So, stories developing,
Yeah.
developing characters. You're only 4 episodes in, I think, right now.
Yeah.
I think there's only 4, so it's really good.
Yeah.
And I like the character. I like Master Chief. I like what he's doing with this guy.
Yeah.
That's I don't know. Played Sabretooth. Liv Schreiber's brother.
Liv Schreiber.
Yeah. Is that right?
You know, Liv Schreiber played Sabretooth.
His brother.
Oh, his brother. Okay.
That's who plays Master
Oh,
Chief.
okay.
I'm pretty sure.
Okay.
He's tall too. I think he's like 6'5" or 6'6".
Yeah.
The brother.
Yeah.
Um,
Well, Liv Schreiber's a tall man.
yeah, but I think it's his half brother or something
Yeah.
like that. Anyway, doesn't matter. But when you see him in the suit,
Yeah.
you know, it's like, holy shit, these guys are tall. I was like, it's got to be the boots and shit like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But he's actually a pretty tall guy.
Yeah,
You know what
yeah.
I mean? So, but the effects are just amazing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And them walking in the suits and stuff like that. It's just,
Yeah.
yeah, it's real good.
Yeah. Paramount's spending money on these series. It's impressive.
It's just a good series. I know they should. I'm impressed that they're even spending money in sci-fi.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a bonus
Right. I mean,
for science fiction fans.
I mean, it's one thing for it to be Star Trek. Like I get that, like because that's a known commodity. But to roll the dice on a Halo TV series, you know, is impressive in my opinion. And the fact that they're pulling it off and they're spending money so that it looks good,
yeah.
all the better. You know.
Yeah, I like it. I think it's really good.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm kind of hooked on that too.
Good.
It's one of the first things I watched when I got home. You know,
Yeah.
this week is one of the first things I watched was
Yeah.
Halo.
Yeah.
I was looking forward to it. Just watched the last Moon Knight episode, which is good. What? Have you watched it yet?
I've watched it. Like I guess it's that thing of whole. I'm enjoying it because I know nothing about the character.
Yeah, I don't know anything about the
Yeah,
character.
like I know nothing about Moon Knight.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of enjoying it from that standpoint of this is a brand new character. Like I know he exists. I kind of know a little bit. Like I know the basics of the character, but like I don't know like his backstory, his history, any villain, nothing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I'm completely oblivious when it comes to this character. So from that standpoint, I've enjoyed like learning about the character.
Yeah.
A little bit, and
then Deacon Frost comes out. I'm just kidding.
yeah, Deacon Frost. Oh, there's a pool.
He looked weird.
Yeah,
He looks like a fat Kevin Bacon. I don't know. I can't get over the look.
yeah. I think I'm thinking like once Kevin. No, it's
I
Ethan
didn't
Hawke.
even recognize him at first until like a close up. I was like,
Yeah.
One of the girls said, "There he is." And I was like, "Where?
Yeah,
Is that really?" Then I started listening to the voice. I was like,
yeah.
"Yeah, that's him."
That's
Yeah.
him. Yeah.
Yeah.
But he does. He looks like an odd version of Kevin Bacon.
Yeah, he does.
Like a microwaved version of Kevin Bacon. Or
He
something. I
does.
don't know,
Looks so
but-
weird.
Yeah.
Maybe it's the hair. I don't know. I like him. I think he's really good in this role.
Yeah. Oh, he's phenomenal.
Oh man. But I like the split personality thing too.
Yeah.
I just hope they don't go way too far with it because it reminds me a lot of Venom. But he's pulling it off. I think this.
Yeah.
But when he switches into Cameron Poe mode,
Yeah.
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, oh, there's Poe.
Yeah.
You know, and then he switches back. You know.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm into the mythos behind it and everything. I think it's really good.
Yeah.
I like it. I mean, and it's funny. I just hope they don't make these new ones like. Not that I want it to be all seriousness and stuff like that, but I just hope it's like. The funny stuff in Avengers was good,
Yeah.
right?
Right.
But it had such a serious overtone with it.
Right.
And I get and even the stuff in Guardians of the Galaxy was good. But I think now it's almost going too far, and that's my gripe. Like I'm good. I'm good with a little tongue in cheek here and there. You know what I mean? Like some funniness. But if it becomes like joke fest the entire way, you know, and that's kind of what I was getting with Moon Knight, and then it faded away and got serious again. So,
Yeah.
But I like it. I mean, I think it's really good.
Yeah, I think Marvel for the most part, knows how to pull that string back. Like, I think about it, like, I think of, like, particularly, like, Falcon the Winter Soldier,
Yeah.
Loki, and then Hawkeye.
Yeah.
Like, those three... Well, I'm gonna take Loki out of it because Loki's so bizarre that the jokiness kind of has to stay there.
It's the most bizarre of them all.
Yeah.
And it's probably the most important introduction of a baddie.
Yeah.
So weird.
Yeah. But I mean, it works because it's Loki.
And it's space.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you take Falcon and the Winter Soldier and you take Hawkeye. I feel like the humor was used properly in those movies.
Yeah.
Like, you know, it lightened moods when it needed to be lightened. You know, it worked in a way. And like even like especially like with Hawkeye, like the whole thing with the two women, the two girls, and like their like interplay with each other.
Yeah. Yeah, that worked.
It very well.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, so there's a lot. I mean, with Falcon and the Winter Soldier, there was a lot of interplay between those two, and like, you know, the back and forth that you get with those characters that worked. I mean, you know, like I agree. Like, you know, he's out of line, but he has a point. You know, I mean,
Right, yeah.
you know, that's some funny shit. You know, so I mean, stuff works. I think for the most part, I'm hoping with Thor, Love and Rockets, or whatever the hell it's called.
Love and Thunder.
Love and Thunder. Okay.
Love and Rockets is Daniel Ash's band from
Right.
House.
Yeah, I got him confused. I'm sorry.
It's okay.
I'm hoping the Tiki Watala kind of pulls it back a tad, because Ragnarok, that was a problem, and we're like one of the few who like say that. Like, there are people like, oh, it's an amazing movie. It's fantastic. It's one of the best Marvel movies ever made. And it's like in my bottom 5.
Yeah, I mean, and I can go on. I'm probably on record saying that I loved it, but going back and watching it,
Its repeat factor is not there.
yeah, and like I've probably watched Dark World more than I've watched Ragnarok.
Yeah, which is saying a ton because, you know, that's a turd.
Yeah, here you'd have been impressed, Lisa. Sean just said, you know, whatever that Thor movie is, Love and Rockets. And I said, no, that's Daniel Ash's band, Love and Rockets. From Daniel Ash from Bauhaus.
I got my wires crossed. You know.
It's funny. Anyway, yeah, I don't know, where were we? I got distracted there.
We were talking about...
Oh, Ragnarok.
Ragnarok, yeah.
Oh, yeah, I know. And I know I'm in the top 1% of people.
Yeah.
But I enjoy watching Dark World. I don't mind it. It's the first 2 Thors are like the Thor that I wanted.
Yeah.
And then after that became the Thor I didn't want anymore.
Right.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I was like that first Thor movie, that's Thor to me.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? Little comic here and there. You
Yeah.
know, The only thing that I didn't like about Thor was that freaking OK Corral Western scene they put in.
Yeah.
It's the only thing I didn't like about that.
Right, yeah.
The big finish.
Yeah.
I hated. But other than that, I mean, I just really enjoyed Thor.
Yeah.
And I was like, wow, this is a character I can get behind. This is a character that I like. I want to see more of this. And then it became like, then when they made him fat and fucking all that shit, and I get it, but it was almost disrespectful to the character. Like, I could not connect. I couldn't. The whininess, the Lebowski and I know it was like this, you know what I mean? I understand what they were doing.
Right.
But at the same point, it was like, Smart Hulk I didn't like either.
Yeah.
I couldn't get into that.
Yeah.
So they took a lot away from me, like in those movies for some reason. Like if you remember Hulk and Thor from the first Avengers movie, that was like
Yeah. That was Hulk and
that's
Thor.
what you want to see.
Right.
You want to see Hulk plowing through one of those spaceships.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Right.
I think it was Thor and Hulk, and he kicked a piece of metal, and Hulk. I think it was Hulk that drove it into the thing, and Thor put it down with the hammer.
Yeah.
I mean, that is Avengers. Like
Yeah.
you can't. That isn't capturing the Avengers
Right.
there.
Yeah.
Not Hulk have a meaningful conversation in Thor's hut,
Yeah.
drinking himself to death. Like, you know what I mean? Like not death, he can't die, but you know what I mean. I just didn't. We went from there to there,
Yeah.
and I'm like, what happened? Just
Yeah.
I want to see fighting. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, so that's what I couldn't get into.
I got into Fat Thor. I also got into, Professor Hulk.
Professor Hulk.
Yeah. So, like, I dug them both. I thought it was interesting choices to make. I overall, like, you're right. Like, I want Thor to get back to being Thor,
Yeah.
and I'm hoping we get that.
I mean, he's one of the most powerful people in the Marvel universe,
Yeah. Yeah.
and you got him sidelined on a couch playing Fallout or whatever.
Yeah.
I mean,
I get it. I get it. And you're right. But at the same time, it's like what would the fallout have been from that? And that's where it makes sense.
yeah,
Yeah,
I get it.
I'm just intrigued to see how they bring back Mjolnir in that movie.
I'm intrigued to see what they're going to do with Natalie Portman in that movie.
Well, I mean, she's Thor.
I know. I want to see it
Right.
because I can't see it right now.
I've seen pictures of her, and she beefed up.
Oh, did she?
Yeah. Like, I mean, it's not like, she's not like, fucking Ronda Rousey or anything.
Right.
She's not like, China in the crowd.
Well,
But, I mean, she's definitely...
I
you
want
can
more
see-
of a Wonder Woman look.
Right, but you can definitely see she has put on mass and muscle mass.
Okay.
Like, you could definitely see in her physique, it's definitely...
I mean, you almost want to see a Valkyrie type of persona
Yeah.
in that. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, I get what you're saying, and I agree with you, but at the same time, it's like the mass that she's put on. It's like it's muscle mass. You can see she has definition and stuff, like you've never seen like before. But it's not like
I want to see American Gladiators. Just kidding.
She's not there. No, no, not even close. But she looked like the pictures I saw. She's
got a
good.
penis. What?
Yeah. That's where I keep my chaw.
No, I just want to see her. I just, her. She's such a tiny thing.
Yeah.
And, like, I just can't see it yet. Hopefully I will.
I think once you see her with the armor and stuff, you'll be like, okay, yeah, I get it.
Yeah.
But
because what just keeps flashing in my mind is, she's gonna look like a child flying around in a Thor costume on Halloween.
Yeah, I don't think so.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I like from the only thing you can't correct with her is her height.
Yeah, but you can do that on camera.
Yeah, but I think, like I said, she definitely took it seriously, and she put on muscle mass.
Isn't that interesting that she took it on seriously? They must have offered her a lot of money.
Oh, yeah, they had to have backed up a Brinks truck for her. Because,
she's like, yeah, I want to retire.
Yeah.
I'll give you 10 years of my life, and at the end, I will retire.
Yeah. Because, it had to have been, she had been openly disgusted about doing Marvel movies.
Yeah.
Openly, fuck Marvel, I'll never do it again. I am done with that type of shit. I am an artist, you know.
And she is. I'm not going to take that away
I'm
from
not
her.
going to take it away from her. But, like, somebody's like, well, here's the check we'll write. And she's like, okay, yeah, you can use, yeah, definitely, I'm in.
Yeah, she wasn't an artist in the fucking Star Wars movies. I can just tell you that.
Yeah, no, not at all. But it's like one of those deals where like,
Say Annie again.
yeah,
Punch you in the lip.
they definitely had to have backed up a Brinks truck.
Yeah.
And she probably was like, I need a bigger role than just being Jane Foster. Like, well, we could make you Thor. We've done that in the comic books.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, really? Okay, I'm in. Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, so.
I can't believe you haven't seen Spider-Man yet.
I've seen Spider-Man.
Oh, okay.
I haven't seen it a second time.
Oh, okay. All right.
I saw it in the
I thought you saw it.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah, so yeah, we'll see what that's gonna be like.
Yeah.
But so it looks interesting. I just watched the last trailer for Strange
Yeah.
that they put out. And it's pretty much all the same except for them hot X wheels that came on the screen,
Yeah.
which I thought was good.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm...
And a little bit of zombie action, it looks like.
There's all sorts of...
There's all kinds of batshit shit
Yeah.
crazy going on in this fucking trailer. I mean, there's
Yeah.
Marvel Zombies coming out. I'm like, you know, her kids are back. I don't know if that's a flashback. I don't know if that's just another reality.
Also, she's speaking with an accent again.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, no, really. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, like... And I mean, they made a point of it in the WandaVision. Like, what happened to your accent? I got rid of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So is that where's she from?
Yeah. Which version of Wanda is this?
Is Vision coming back because this is an alternate reality?
Yeah.
So Vision should be around.
All sorts of questions.
Yeah, I mean, there's all kinds of bullshit. And if she's mind melding and altering reality,
Yeah.
she's going after Vision,
Right.
and her kids.
And don't forget, I mean, one of the big things to remember here is she was, you know, at the end of WandaVision, we get that stinger at the end where she's, like, there's a version of her outside the cabin having a cup of coffee, and inside there's a version of her reading the Darkhold, and she hears the kids scream and goes, you know, so it's like, okay, what the fuck is going on? I mean, questions galore.
Mephisto. No, I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. I'll answer everything with Mephisto.
Yeah, everything's Mephisto until otherwise proven.
No, it's I know. It's just so nutty.
Yeah,
You know, and I don't know. It almost makes me worry. Is Strange going to be like too much? But I was worried about Spider-Man too, and it wasn't too much. Like they really put Spider-Man together pretty right.
yeah,
I mean, I really enjoyed
Right.
what they did with that. Because when this Spider-Man, I was a little nervous about the Spider-Man movie coming out.
yeah,
So I'm like, ooh, there's a lot of things going on.
yeah. There's a lot of moving parts here.
Yeah, and when you're looking at it from without seeing it, it's like, oh my God, how are they going to connect the pieces here? And, you know, you have I mean, if you think about the villains, you have 4 really good actors
Yeah,
that can really hold their own against not only themselves, some more than the others, but I mean, all those actors that play the villains are good.
right,
Every single one of them.
Right.
And they can headline movies on their own.
right,
So how do you corral that? You know, and they did. You know what I mean?
right. No, I agree.
I mean, I felt like some of the actors should have had more
yeah.
than what they did. But
Like at the end of the day, I think what the interesting thing is that like what you thought was going to be overkill turned out to be just right.
yeah, it didn't go overboard.
You know, and I feel like
5 villains.
yeah, like I feel like you could make this work with Strange, but I'm intrigued to see how it works.
Yeah, I mean, it looks like Wanda is definitely in this movie
Yeah,
for the most of it.
right.
Like she's
She's a major part of it.
she's a center character.
Right.
Hopefully.
Yeah.
Not that I don't think Cumberbatch can't pull off a whole movie by himself, but
Right.
I think Wanda is definitely in the...
But, like, who's the glowing guy? I've heard that that's supposed to be a version of Iron Man. It's going to be played by Tom Cruise.
That was my mind going,
Yeah.
oh, I don't
Whoa.
want Tom Cruise in this movie. I just do not.
Yeah.
I like Tom Cruise,
Yeah.
but I don't want him replaced.
Right, but if
I
it's
know.
but it's a multiverse version, and more importantly, you have to have Stark as part of the Illuminati.
Oh, God. Yeah, and who's standing up? Because that wasn't Professor X standing up,
No.
apparently, because he's in the wheels.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Reed Richards is in the Illuminati.
Yeah. I mean, that's what's interesting is like, okay, so it's this multi-dimensional Illuminati.
Right.
Like, who's all... Like, if you go by the original members, it's, you know,
Reed Richards.
Reed Richards, Doctor Strange, Tony Stark, Professor X, Namor.
Ooh. Yeah, how you getting that in there?
Yeah. And I think that's it, right? It's just those 5.
I think so. I'll
Like
look at
that's
just-
like the classical version of the Illuminati, I believe.
Right.
Like the 5 smartest men in the world.
Go ahead, keep going.
Yeah, so like I'm intrigued to see, like, you know, so you have like some sort of other universe version of Tony Stark that's played by Tom Cruise. That would be interesting, especially like if the fucking Iron Man suit's glowing. You know what the fuck? He looks like the fucking Human Torch. So, oh, Ian's pulling information here.
I'm pulling information.
Yeah.
I have to go to the site just to make sure.
Yeah, of course. Of course. Google can never just say, yeah, these 5.
Okay. The Illuminati is a secret organization comprised of several of the world's most powerful heroes, which are Sorcerer Supreme Doctor Strange,
Right.
Black Bolt,
Ah, Black Bolt. I forgot about him.
Charles Xavier, Reed Richards, and Namor.
Okay.
And Iron Man.
Yeah.
These 6.
Yeah, so it's 6. I forgot about Black Bolt.
And originally Tony Stark united them
Yeah.
with the Black Panther
Ah, okay.
shortly after the Kree War. Skrull War.
Yeah. So,
Interesting.
can we get Anson Mount as Black Bolt? That would be amazing. That's the only good thing about that TV show.
House of M. Sorry, I just went down the whole fucking
Yeah.
path there.
But you,
And why Namor left and all this crap. Okay.
but you didn't watch the Inhumans TV show.
I did not.
Yeah, it was awful. Don't.
Yeah.
But
I
yeah,
know, I've heard. I just didn't want to be disappointed.
right. But the problem is, Anson Mount is Black Bolt,
Yeah.
and he's amazing. That's the first time I ever saw Anson Mount, or at least knowingly saw Anson Mount. And I was like, this guy's an amazing actor. So like when he showed up as Pike, I was like, fucking Black Bolt's playing Pike? I'm in. You know. So I mean, like that's the funny thing. Like if you're gonna have Black Bolt as part of this, are you pulling Anson Mount and saying, "Hey, we know that TV show really fucking sucked, but you were amazing."
Yeah, just cameo.
Yeah. Or would you put on the full costume too?
I like how they blurred out all the Illuminati, too. That was
Yeah.
good. Because I'm sure in the movies, they're not going to be blurred out.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Just like they did in the Spider-Man.
Yeah.
They got rid of all the baddies, and they just have the 3 Spider-Men flying into nothing.
No, it was the other way around. They had because the
Oh, yeah,
the,
yeah.
controversy,
You're right.
the controversy was they took out the two other
Yeah,
Spider-Men,
you're right.
but there was that scene where Lizard was in the air and then you could see him getting punched.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, okay, we know somebody's punching him.
Magical.
Yeah,
No, yeah, I remember.
Yeah.
Yeah, they took out the Spider-Man.
yeah.
It was a good scene, though.
Oh, that was amazing.
I was so into that movie. I still am.
Yeah,
There's so many things about that movie that were just good.
Like I like how it redeems Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man.
And it kind of redeems Tobey Maguire. Because that last Spider-Man,
Oh yeah, don't get me wrong. I mean, the first two were fantastic. That third one,
the Venom one was...
yeah, yeah, that's bad. But yeah, I mean, it does. It redeems him a little bit. But I mean, it redeems Andrew Garfield like to the point like people are like, we want to see Amazing Spider-Man 3. Well, nobody wanted to see fucking Amazing Spider-Man 3 but you.
Who, me?
Yeah, you.
Oh, yeah.
Like, you were the only one who was like, oh, I love these movies.
I did. I don't know.
Yeah, so I mean, it's like that oddball thing of like, well, maybe you should go back and watch the movies and remember why you didn't want a third one, why you wanted this to be rebooted.
I think he deserves a third movie.
Well, I
Still.
do too. Yeah, I mean, the interesting thing about his movies is I was intrigued to see how that was going to progress.
Yeah.
With the villains. Like, not so much him.
Yeah.
But, like, I liked the Dane DeHaan Green Goblin more than I think a lot of other people did.
Yeah.
I would have been intrigued to see how...
But if you would have had his Green Goblin with Defoe's voice as the Green Goblin, you have the Green Goblin.
Yeah.
Because Defoe pulled his voice off.
Perfection, yeah. I mean, I think if anything, it really redeems his Green Goblin.
Oh, it does.
Mm-hmm. But like I feel it's a very interesting movie and how like all that's kind of like fixed somehow. Like Marvel is like, well, this is how it should have been done.
I know. We're just gonna touch up here, brush the dust off here.
Here, Sony, pay attention. Stop fucking around and pay attention.
Yeah.
We're fixing your fuck ups.
I even like what they did with Electro.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
What they did with the music.
Yeah.
All the villains' music was in there.
Yeah. I mean, it was Marvel did an amazing.
They lessened off Lizard,
Right.
which is fine. Yeah. It's a lizard.
Right.
But they had a couple good conversations with Lizard.
Yeah.
But it's just, God, between Molina and Defoe, it's just like,
Yeah.
you're blowing my mind right now.
Right. Yeah, I agree.
You know what I mean? Because just Defoe was perfect. There should have been more Defoe, but I also argue that there should have been more Molina.
Oh yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Oh, but when Molina comes out and was like, he just starts taking care of business. That's badass.
And that scene where like they've captured Defoe, he's in the cell, and he's like, I'm a bit of a scientist myself.
Yeah.
I just laughed out loud.
Well, I also like but there was that part where, like, when he first gets popped into the cell,
Yeah.
I don't think he's switched quite yet.
Yeah.
And there's you can hear the desperation in his voice.
Yeah.
Like calling out for Peter.
Yeah.
Like, it was amazing.
Yeah.
Like, his acting was just, God damn. It was just so fucking good.
Yeah.
He's going to be Nosferatu. I'm just kidding. But anyway, but what I'm saying is it was just so fucking good.
Yeah.
That, man, was he good. He's just so good. Anything that guy's in, he's good.
Yeah.
Yeah, but like I said, it's pretty fresh because we just watched it. But it's just such a good film.
Yeah.
But I can't even believe I'm saying this, but I even really, really liked what Tobey Maguire did with the fucking movie.
Yeah.
I like Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man.
Yeah.
But I liked him even more as now that he's older.
Yeah.
The wisdom, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, it's really good.
Yeah.
Garfield had to crack his back because he's old.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
but yeah, it was good stuff. The suits.
mm-hmm.
It was just. That scene where like all three of them are swinging around the Statue of Liberty. You're just like, shit! I can't believe they're doing this.
And when each one of them will land.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's sort of an Easter egg in itself.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, so, I mean, they did all things right with that film,
Yeah.
I felt. And you finally got to see the rage side of Holland,
Yeah.
which I liked. I wanted to see that rage. Because, I mean, you haven't really seen that.
Right. Well, what's interesting is, this is the most interesting thing. It was a 3-movie origin story.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, it was. It was like 3 movies of how Spider-Man becomes Spider-Man.
Yeah.
And that's, I don't think, ever been done before.
All right.
Like, nobody's ever had the balls to do that. Like, you do the origin story in movie 1 and you move on to movie 2. This was, I mean, Uncle Ben died and we're never really told how that happened.
Oh, for Holland's Peter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But, like, it's the death of Aunt May.
Yeah, which was a good twist.
Right. And she gives him the line of, with great power comes great responsibility. And, like, that whole thing, I was like, oh, wow. That's what they've done.
Yeah.
Now it all makes sense.
Now it makes
Yeah.
a lot of sense.
Like, I mean, because it was like, it was a 3-movie origin story.
Right.
It took you 3 movies to get to him actually being Spider-Man.
Yeah, yeah.
Now he's Spider-Man.
Yes. Now.
He was only Spider-Man in name. Now he's Spider-Man.
Yeah.
You know?
And it's just...
And you're right, like that rage.
That's what I wanted to see.
That Tobey Maguire's had, and that, I mean, Garfield's definitely had.
Oh, he's had it.
Yeah.
Had it.
Yeah. But, I mean, like, this was like a happy-go-lucky Peter Parker.
Right, but because Garfield's was so dark. I
Yeah.
mean, Garfield had rage since
Yeah.
he died.
Right.
And that never left him. And then he lost her.
Yeah.
And that just kept going.
Yeah.
I mean, like, it just never stopped. The
Yeah.
rage just kept going.
Yeah.
Yeah, Holland's never really experienced that except the death of Tony Stark.
Yeah.
Which was sad, but the villain died.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, there was
There was no avenge to get.
No, it was already done.
Yeah.
Tony did it. You know what I mean?
Right.
But now, hits home.
Yeah.
I liked her, too. I liked her as Aunt May.
Yeah.
But now we're going to see, God, if they make another one with him, it's going to be a dark side of Peter. I mean, you're going to see Spider-Man out doing his thing, like the apartment and all that kind
Right.
of shit. But also, this is a lonely Peter, you know, darker.
Right. I mean, I'm definitely...
Not as dark as Garfield. But
No. But I'm definitely intrigued to see, like, how they treat that, like, his loneliness, and, like, when does MJ and Ned come back into the fold?
Right.
Because, you know, I mean, at some point, like, something's got to happen where, like, deep in their memory, that snaps back in.
Yeah. And it could be just time at this point.
Right.
But, you know, they kept teasing about Ned's powers.
Yeah.
And that's another thing, too, is he
Yeah.
actually does. And I said that before.
Right. Ned Donovan becomes I can't remember which villain it is.
Yeah, but he becomes a villain
Yeah.
with his power.
Yeah.
So, you know, are they going to bring that back? And I don't know. I hope not, because I like Ned how he is right now. It would be interesting. But,
Yeah.
you know, I think the only interaction I wanted to see, believe it or not, you know, within the whole multiverse and stuff like that, I think I was good with the shadows and, you know,
Yeah.
Craven in the shadow, you know, like all these people coming after Peter.
Right.
But I think that the one interaction that I wanted to see, and it didn't need to happen because the movie's good on its own, but I wanted Gwen Stacy to come back.
A Spider-Gwen.
As Spider-Gwen.
Yeah.
And then that whole interaction with Garfield.
Oh, that would have been amazing.
Because he wouldn't have, like, he would have known but not have known and then figured it out.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
And like that's some Oscar stuff there.
Yeah.
I mean, you know what I mean? Like that
Yeah,
interaction.
because like, in the comic book, that interaction is amazing.
Yeah.
You know.
So I mean, like,
Yeah.
yeah. So I kind of wanted to see that,
Yeah.
but I had no complaints on that movie. I thought it ended well, began well,
Yeah.
It's good. And what's his name is Jay Jonah. Perfect.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So I mean, man, I know you're right. You're correct in saying, "Hey, Sony, listen up."
Yeah.
They know what's fucking going on here.
Right.
This is their, in somewhat of a sense, their cash cow. This is
Yeah.
what made them who they are.
Right.
Between Spidey and the X-Men. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Spidey is one of their anchors.
Right. And I mean,
Or the anchor.
you know, stop fucking around. Stop trying to do your own thing. Stop your own little Spider-Verse shit that you're doing. Just stop. For the love of God, stop.
Right.
You know.
Yeah, I'm still kind of confused on. Not confused, but I don't know the. I don't really understand what they're doing with Venom right now. And like, I know they're gonna bring him into the fold and stuff like that, but. And Venom's like the anti-hero now, you know. But Venom was bad. Venom was so bad.
Yeah.
For so long.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Right.
And, you know, in the books, you know, well, at least as of 3 or 4 years ago, maybe longer, he was in Guardians of the Galaxy, for Christ's sakes.
Yeah.
I mean, I get that evolution of twisting and taking that character in another direction.
Right.
But aren't we doing it a little early here? Like, but, of course, if you didn't do it, you wouldn't have your own Venom movies.
Right. I mean, that's the problem. You know, I don't know. I'd watch a movie about a bad guy. You know, like if you gave me like an interesting movie about the bad guy, I'd watch it. I mean, I've you know, there have been comic books and stuff done from that perspective that have been very interesting.
Yeah.
But at the same time, like I don't. Venom's not the character that I would want to watch as the bad guy being the main villain.
Yeah, and I like the Venom character. I like where he's at. I might be in the minority here too, but I like the Venom movies. I enjoy them. Well, number one, I like Tom Hardy, but number two is I like Venom. I like the way he looks. They've done well with how he looks. I like the look of him.
They've definitely. I mean, I haven't seen it yet, surprisingly enough, but like, I mean, Morbius is apparently a train wreck.
Yeah, they say that, but then I've talked to people that loved it.
Right, but you know, the Venom movies are a little bit more well received than Morbius has been.
Venom's more well known.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Right.
I think they were cashing in on Leto.
Right, and I think there's a great deal of Jared Leto backlash.
Yeah.
You know, for whatever reason, I don't understand that aspect. Like, he's a wackadoo. Don't get me wrong. As a human being, like the dude's a wackadoo.
Yeah, but he can play character actors.
Right.
I mean, look at his Joker.
Yeah, he's a phenomenal actor.
Yeah.
You look over his body of work. I mean, you can't say, "Well, wow, that was garbage," from an acting standpoint.
Right.
You know, he's a very good actor. He's won an Academy Award for a reason.
Yeah.
You know, but I mean, at the same time, I'm also going to freely admit the guy's a fucking wackadoo.
Yeah.
You know, of the highest order.
Yeah.
You know, so.
But you know.
I mean, look at his performance in Blade Runner 2049.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, like
that was phenomenal.
There's no question he's a good actor.
Yeah.
But like that's the other piece of it. You know, that's the other piece of this whole thing. And if they're going to bring this into the frickin' fold, is we already know how dark Doctor Strange is going to be. It's going to be a dark movie. It's not going to be like sunshine and puppies.
Right.
I mean, you're seeing this other side of Strange, this other reality. Like, some badass images going on. What I'm seeing in these trailers, but but I mean now you know. You're bringing
the Supreme Strange and all that,
right? But also too, not just with Strange, but you're also bringing in, you know, at the end of the Eternals, you know, you're bringing in Black Knight,
right?
Blade's there.
Yeah.
You just introduced Morbius, in
some way.
I mean, so there are pieces in play here that are like, are they gonna do this series or you know?
Right.
what are they doing with the dark characters? Are we going after Drax for Dracula? You know what I mean? Like,
Right.
I don't know. It's like this darker side. So I don't know. I mean, like they tried to do it in the TV shows. I mean, this is before they kind of got on board with each other.
Right.
But with Jessica Jones and Daredevil and
Right.
another good scene in Spider-Man. But they kind of did that with that group, Iron Fist.
Right.
Is that what we're doing with these characters with Black Knight and Blade? And are we forming? You know what I mean? Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
It's just interesting. That's all.
Yeah, I mean, I think always
The darker side of Marvel.
Right.
And now we're seeing zombies, but anyway.
But I think that's always the interesting thing of both comic book universes is like, like you look at DC and you've got like the magical aspects of it with like not only Shazam and Black Adam, but like Zatanna and there's all these characters that are like in the mystical realm of the DC comics. Then there's the space with like the Green Lantern Corps and all the shit that goes on there. But then you have like organizations like on Earth, like just like it's like they mirror each other. Like there's chess or checkmate, and there's all these different organizations like within the DC universe that like are the same as like there's Shield and there's Sword and the fucking AIM and like all these other organizations that are out like in the Marvel universe that you're just like so I think it's always interesting like to play in those corners a little bit like like in Marvel like I liked Falcon and the Winter Soldier. It's my favorite show so far because it dabbles in that political corner a little bit more of the Marvel universe, and there is one. There are political figures. Captain America is a political figure in the Marvel comic book universe.
Right.
He's gone against the U.S. government many times.
Right.
So like playing in like that kind of political espionage kind of spy game type of deal with all those characters is very interesting. Like Julia Louis-Dreyfus's character, who is she? Is she forming the Thunderbolts? Is she forming the Dark Avengers? What's going on there? Like there's all sorts of stuff that you like. Wow, like there's so many different aspects to this universe, and we only ever get to touch a little bit of it at a time.
Right.
When you get to touch it, it's done very, very well.
Yeah, no, I agree, but like. But now you're introducing characters. They're expanding their universe. I mean, I understand that. But with these new movies, what is this going to set up? I mean, are we setting up for, I don't know, like a movie? Are we going to call it The Avengers? It's going to be called something else. Because you're bringing in characters like Professor X, which you're bringing the X-Men back into the fold. We know this.
Right. At some point.
They're not going to wait. I don't think they're going to wait 5-6 years to bring in the X-Men. I mean, this is going to happen within the next 3 years. They're going to bring in the new Wolverine and maybe not Wolverine. I mean, I don't know what they're going to do. I mean, who the fuck knows? But,
man, it's going to be tough to recast him.
Yeah, it will be. But what I'm saying is, like, there's a lot of things being brought in.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We know the Force coming back.
Yeah,
and we know that Wolverine or the X-Men are coming back.
It's that thing of like it's building blocks.
Right.
Like that's the thing that they do so well is they build a foundation and they build upon that foundation.
Right.
I feel like there's like with the next phase, the post Endgame phase, I feel like they're still laying down the foundation.
Yeah. Yeah, because I mean, I don't think the ultimate baddie is going to show himself in the next 3 or 4 years.
Yeah.
I don't think. I think we're going to see maybe hints, but I don't think that because nobody's aligned yet. I mean, the X-Men are kind of, if you think about it, I'm not X-Men. The Avengers are just kind of, they're kind of like everywhere
Right. Well, I mean, and that's the problem. Like, okay, so like,
And then you still have,
Like,
Ant-Man and Ant-Man and Wasp, but you still have Ant-Man. Then you still have Wasp is out there.
right,
You still have Pym and Van Dyne alive now.
right,
But what I'm saying is, like, so you have those characters,
right,
and then you jump over here, and then you have Doctor Strange, Wanda, and these characters,
right,
and now you're introducing the X-Men, and probably the Fantastic Four. You know what I mean?
right.
So you're introducing your world's getting much bigger, much bigger. So, and the Eternals, which,
Yeah.
but you're also introducing Black Knight and Blade. You've introduced Blade now. So I mean, like
Right.
they are really throwing in a lot of characters here.
Right, but I mean, if you look back, they kind of did it the same way with the first go around.
Yeah, but not such a big groups,
Right,
except for
but-
Guardians.
Right, but the difference in it all is
And
that-
Guardians was well outside the box.
right, but the difference in all this is you have Disney Plus now.
Yeah.
I guess this is why they're expanding as quickly as they are,
Yeah.
because you have Disney
Moon
Plus
Yeah.
to work with now.
Yeah.
you
to
could-
be on board with.
Right, you can use that to expand the foundation. Where before, well, we can only do it in the movies, so we're going to focus on, the big three, the
Yeah.
big four
Yeah.
with the Avengers. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
We'll introduce Hawkeye and Black Widow within these movies, and we'll get to the Avengers.
Right.
And think about it, I mean, at that point, the universe was still very small.
Yeah. Yeah.
Think about how far we've come.
Iron Man crawling out of a cave, and
Right.
now we have like super teams.
Right. We've come so far from, the end of Iron Man where, Nick Fury's like, I am Iron Man. You are not the only one. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, and that's like a statement of like at the time we're like, wow, we're gonna get the Avengers. Well, now, I mean, it's so much bigger than just the Avengers.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Welcome to the Secret War.
Yeah, exactly. Now we bring the Russos back.
Can you imagine a Secret War movie? I don't even know if you could do it.
You can't.
You
would
to
have
be,
to-
to be quite honest with you, it's not even about the characters. It's just the story is so
You would have to do it as a series on Disney Plus.
yeah.
That would have to be like an 8-episode show.
Yeah, I don't see how you can do it.
Yeah, it would be.
And 2-hour episodes.
Yeah, I mean, it would be monstrous.
You know what I mean?
It would be like the most expensive show ever fucking made.
It would have to be. I
Right.
mean, like, it's just so involved. It's
Right.
just, there's a lot of pieces there, and like,
Right,
you can flip through comics all you want, but there's a bigger story arc, and
right.
it's just, I don't know, man. But,
So, but what's interesting is on the flip side of things, like we're talking about the cohesion of the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
right.
Like how everything fits together like a Lego.
Yeah.
Each piece fits together, like it builds something like Lego blocks. It all fits together very nice and neat.
Yeah.
And then there's the DC Entertainment Universe. The complete opposite.
It is.
It is like somebody took some Lincoln Logs, some Legos, some those little sticks you put together to build shit. Like, I mean, just like it's a fucking clusterfuck of a clusterfuck.
Yeah, it is.
And, movies are still getting pushed around. The Flash has been pushed to next year. The fucking Aquaman's been pushed to next year. Like, it's such a clusterfuck of a situation. And I don't know if you're aware of this or not, but Warner Bros. Was just bought by Discovery.
Oh, really?
Yes. The sale has been finalized.
Oh, wow.
So, one of the first statements the fucking head of Discovery makes, the new head of Warner Brothers and Discovery makes is like, yeah, we need to fix this shit.
Is that what he said?
Basically, yeah.
He's probably a fan.
Like, so. Let me see. No, not. I don't give a fuck about a brand new logo. So, Warner Brothers Discovery CEO David Zaslav met with top executives before the merger between Warner Media and Discovery to find someone to increase the profile of DC Entertainment while also bringing its comics, movies, TV shows, and video games into better alignment. Zaslav has reportedly met with different individuals to find someone to be a central voice and figurehead of its DC contingent or content, similar to how Kevin Feige oversees Marvel Studios. So, like, insiders also claim the CEO believes that Warner Brothers' DC film slate hasn't reached its maximum potential, even with successes like Todd Phillips' The Joker and Matt Reeves' The Batman. One term used is that the DC brand lacks a coherent creative and brand strategy.
Well,
There's a bear shit in the woods.
yeah.
You know?
Yeah, do it. I mean, that's known.
Yeah. Also, A-list characters like Superman haven't been used to their greatest potential and are in need of rejuvenating. However, Warner Brothers has done a good job of lifting up overlooked characters like Margot Robbie's Harley Quinn. I wouldn't say that.
Yeah, I wouldn't.
You know, I mean, two good movies, which were both Suicide Squad.
Yeah, Birds of Prey was terrible.
Like, I like Birds of Prey, but it needed a lot. Like, the things I liked about Birds of Prey were not Harley Quinn oriented. They were mostly Ewan McGregor oriented.
Yes, exactly.
You know.
These were cool characters that I wanted to see more of, and they just
Right.
never developed these characters.
Yeah.
And these are huge characters within the universe.
Yeah, like Huntress should have been bigger. Black Canary should have been bigger. I mean, you know, there was a lot there that they could have really worked with, and
No, they just focus back in on Harley.
yeah, yeah. So, you know, other than Ewan McGregor, I was like, yeah, it was just okay. You know, like, I mean, I liked her in Suicide Squad.
Yeah.
I liked her in the Suicide Squad.
Yeah.
You know, but I mean, and outside of Harley Quinn, who else are you talking about? Like, you talking about the Joker movie? Like, I guess, yeah. I mean, I'm sure it was up for Academy Awards and stuff, but I mean, I don't know. It's that whole thing. Like, it's clear. Like, this guy's saying, this is fucked up. How is this so fucked up? How did you fuck this up so bad?
Yeah, I mean, I remember at one time, it was like, we're going to form the Justice League, and we're going to form the Legion of Doom, and
Yeah.
you're going to have these characters, and then it just kind of went sideways. Like, I don't know.
Well, I mean, it
First thing, I liked Henry Cavill as fucking Superman.
Yeah. Yeah.
And you ruined him. Not ruined, well, sort of.
I mean, I'd love to see Henry Cavill come back as Superman. Yes, I mean, the biggest problem is, and I hate to say this because people will rail against me, but you put your faith in a madman, in Zack Snyder,
Yeah.
and I love Zack Snyder's version of the Justice League,
Yeah.
but it is 4 fucking hours.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, he definitely had a vision for what he wanted this to be.
Yeah, he did.
He was definitely trying to tell a tale of gods.
Yeah.
And God bless him for that.
Right.
But you're a madman for trying it. You know what I mean? Like, it's just and I feel like part of it is probably pressure from the studio to, like, well, we can't use the same formula Marvel does. We can't go that route because we need to get to the Justice League quick.
Right.
So let's just do this. And I mean, at the end of the day, you got a, you just got a mishmash.
Yeah.
But like he does, like I can't help it. Like he definitely had a vision that I was like, that intrigues me to know, and I'd love to see how it all plays out. Like there is an alternate universe somewhere where Zack Snyder's Justice League exists.
Yeah, yeah.
Like the Snyderverse is a thing, and it's beautiful, you know,
Yeah.
and it's glorious and all of its attention, and you know, but at the same time, like you just can't rush to get there.
To tell you the truth, I think DC does better with their TV shows than they do their movies.
Yeah,
I think their TV shows are phenomenal.
yeah, but the problem becomes like unlike Marvel, or again like everything's
With way less money. Because,
yeah, but where everything's like fits together nice and neat, with at least lately, you know,
Yeah.
like those TV shows like have no interconnection to each other, for the most part.
Yeah, they don't. Except for introduction.
Yeah,
You know, the old Happy Days Laverne and Shirley move.
Yeah.
That they pulled on
with Doom Patrol.
Doom Patrol.
When then they kind of like reprocessed it, you know, they like it was like a backdoor pilot, but then like what they did with it is completely different from what that pilot was.
Yeah. But boy, is it a good show.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, it is. It's a great show. And I mean, and Titans is a great show.
Oh, yeah. Titans is real good.
Yeah. You know, so I mean, it's just this oddball thing of kind of like there's no, and I hate using this word, there's no synergy between any of it.
Yeah. There's not. I mean, they've put out a couple really good movies. A couple of them. I mean,
Yeah.
above par is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like,
I think Man of Steel is better than people give it credit for.
Agreed. I think Shazam's a phenomenal movie.
Yeah.
I feel like Wonder Woman #1 was, like the first one,
Right.
was a phenomenal movie.
Aquaman.
First, yeah. Yes, it was good.
Yeah.
Defoe again.
Yeah.
But I mean, yes, it was good. And then most of the series on TV were good.
Yeah.
Everything else really was kind of like,
Their animation department churns out
yeah,
hit after hit after hit.
right.
You know, now, I mean, I get it. Doing it via animation, much different than doing it as a live action movie. I get that. But yet, you know, they take the material from the comic books, they mold it a little bit to make it fit, and it works.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? I wonder, like, this person is this new CEO who's coming in and saying, like, how did we screw this up this bad?
right.
Like, I wonder what his vision is of what this should be. Like, should it be all interconnected? Are we going to completely just, like, scrap everything and start from scratch? Because Ezra Miller hasn't exactly positioned himself to be, like, he could be fucking up 2 franchises.
Right.
You know, like, I've heard rumor that they're, like, between Ezra Miller and fucking J.K. Rowling, there may not be another Fantastic Beast movie after this one. Like, this one has to do pretty fucking good for it to be another.
Yeah.
And then they've got to fix the Ezra Miller problem, which is also a problem with The Flash. Like, at some point, you've got to release that fucking movie with Ezra Miller in it.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Oh, except this new Batman was good too.
Yeah.
I'd put that up there as well.
Right, but again, that's completely outside of the Snyderverse, and it's like a standalone, all by itself.
Which they're gonna make more movies out of it.
Or are they?
I think they will.
Like, will this guy coming in say, like, we're wiping the slate completely clean.
Yeah, right.
We are starting fresh. We're going to build this up. And we're going to take our time doing it.
Yeah. Well, yeah, you're right. I mean, it puts Batman in a difficult spot too because it's so early on Bats
Right.
that these other characters, you know what I mean? Like,
Right.
you're not going to form you know, you're years away from forming the Justice League. If you're going to start out with where Batman is now.
Right.
Do you know what I mean?
Right.
Am I right to say that? You're the DC expert.
Yeah.
I mean, this is like year 2 of Batman.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, they're probably 3 years away from the Justice League.
Formation of the Justice
Right.
League.
But again, like the question I asked you, and I'm going to find out next week when it comes on HBO Max, like, can this Batman exist in a universe with an alien? Like, does it seem feasible? Like I never felt, and this is a weird thing to say, but like I never felt like the Christian Bale Batman could live in the same universe as
Supes.
Like, Christopher Nolan worked so hard, and I mean, I know we've punched holes at the third movie about realism, but he worked so hard to make it feel real.
Right.
That I don't believe that, like, that character
Well,
could
he worked on the first 2 movies.
Yeah, right. But, like, yeah.
I'm still bitter about that third movie.
I know you are. But, like, he worked so hard to make it, like, have that realistic feel that this person was really doing these things, that I don't believe that character could exist in the same universe as Superman and Wonder Woman and the Flash. Like superpowers were beyond. Like, I mean, the Joker wasn't the chemical insanity character, like, you know, who fell in a vat of, you know, hazardous material and came out with his skin bleached and his hair green.
Right.
You know, this is somebody who woke up in the morning and put makeup on his face.
Right.
You know what I mean? And not that I have a problem with that, because, I mean, you know, Todd Phillips' Joker, the Joaquin Phoenix Joker, did the same thing. It's a much more realistic portrayal of the character. But, you know, that's where Nolan went. So, like, I would have an easier time seeing Michael Keaton's Batman meeting Christopher Reeve's Superman than I ever would with Christian Bale's Batman.
Right, because of how the story was.
Right. And it's the same thing with, like, when I look at the Batman, this new version, like, I look at it, I'm kind of saying to myself, I don't think this could exist in a world with beings with power.
Right. Yeah, I mean, I hear what you're saying, because, I mean, like, he's struggling with trying to create his own power right now.
Right.
Yeah, I don't know. You can decide after you watch it.
Yeah. But, I mean, it's an odd thing. Like, and again, like, you have to wonder, like, what is this new CEO, what does he want from all of this? Because you have this rich, deep collection of characters.
Right.
That, like, just remain untapped.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it's funny that way that, like, you know, if I'm him, I'm kind of looking at it going, like, how haven't we done these characters justice? How did we fuck up Superman? Like, how do you fuck that up?
I know, dude. How do you? I don't understand that either.
You know, it's right there on the fucking page.
Yeah.
You know?
Story's written.
Yeah. Like, and they're, like, I mean, and I get why. I mean, the constant focus on Batman makes sense because, I mean, much like a Spider-Man movie, it's like a guaranteed moneymaker.
Yeah.
Like, the movie that should not be made money.
Oh, I know.
Made a lot of fucking money.
Yeah.
Like, even though it's considered a dramatic bomb, it still made a shit ton of money.
Oh, yeah.
You know? People wanted to see that fucking thing in droves because it was a Batman movie.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's that thing of, like, you know, I understand why you focus so hard on Batman, but, man, there is just this rich, deep history of characters that you can pull and make some amazing movies with.
Right.
And it seems like anytime they try, they fall flat on their fucking face.
Yeah, and Lantern's another one.
Yeah.
That's a great story. Right?
and completely fucked it up.
Yeah.
I mean, fucked it up hard. I recently rewatched that just out of sheer curiosity. Like, is it as bad as I remember? And it was fucking worse than I remember.
Yeah.
Like, in my mind, I've tried to, like, rationalize it. Well, it's not that fucking bad. No, it is. It's that fucking bad.
Yeah.
And it pains me. Because, like, the Hal Jordan Green Lantern is my favorite Green Lantern.
Yeah, yeah.
And it's like, that's probably the only time I'm going to try to do a Hal Jordan one. Because this generation is grown up with John Stewart as Green Lantern. Like, from the cartoons and stuff.
Yeah, yeah.
So that's probably going to be the Green Lantern they're going to go with.
Right.
Which is he's great as Green Lantern. But he's not my favorite.
Right, right.
So it's like, fuck. The one shot you had to completely fuck it up.
Yep. That was bad.
It's fucking horrible.
Except for Mephisto.
Mephisto.
Isn't that his name? Mephisto? Not Mephisto. What's his name?
Sinestro?
Sinestro.
Yeah.
He was good.
Oh, yeah. I know. I expect something less from Mark Strong.
I know, but they got that right. Sort of.
Yeah. But, like, and that's the thing that pissed me. Like, when he puts on the yellow ring, I was like, oh, goosebumps.
Yeah, yeah.
Because, I mean, that's Sinestro.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, Sinestro. Like, it was like the funny thing, like, when you read a comic book, it was like, Sinestro was the greatest Green Lantern of all time until he fell. Well, why did he fall? Well, because he ruled his sector with fear.
Right.
You know, and at the end of the day, he turned in his ring and chose the ring of fear.
Right.
You know, and it was like, holy hell.
Yeah. It's weird. I just, you know, I just don't know. I don't know where they're going with this shit either. It just never makes. They kind of get you excited for something, and then, nah, we're not gonna do that.
And like, one of the things I don't understand. Again, the Flash got pushed off till next year,
Right.
and that has Michael Keaton's Batman in it.
Yeah.
I mean, it's known. We all know he's there. There's no, you know, you can't hide this at this point. This movie is taking far too long since this movie went into production. We all know he's there.
Yeah.
You know. But he's also apparently in Batgirl in some way, shape, or fashion.
Okay.
Batgirl is going to come out before this fucking Flash movie.
Yeah.
Batgirl's a TV show.
Oh, is it?
Yeah. But it's going to be on TV before this fucking Flash movie comes out.
Him and it's so funny because him and Dafoe have characters in both.
Yeah.
Isn't that weird?
It is weird.
In both universes,
Yeah.
which I find odd. Don't you?
Well, I mean, it's the equivalent of like having a character in both the Star Trek and the Star Wars universes.
Yeah, I guess you're right.
You know. Now, I mean, some of them have been cheats. I know George Sakai did a voice in a cartoon.
Right.
You know, but I guess still it's like one of those things like if you've had a character in both Star Trek and Star Wars, that's kind of like an ultimate nerd thing, you know.
Yeah, yeah. I don't know. We'll see. I don't know what about DC, man. I don't
Could
know
you
what
imagine?
they're doing?
Yeah, trust me, neither. But could you imagine if Mark Hamill showed up on a Star Trek show?
Yeah, right.
Heads would fucking explode.
Yeah, they would. Hawthorne.
Hawthorne,
Yeah, you're
Yeah.
right. It would explode.
I mean, that would be like the best thing ever. And like you like hide it, like somehow you hide this away, and it's all of a sudden there's Mark Hamill on fucking Discovery.
Yeah, right.
You know, him and Cronenberg standing next to each other.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. Hamill can be like a lost captain.
Yeah. Speaking of Cronenberg, did you see the?
Or he can play Spock's brother.
Yeah.
That beard.
Yeah. But speaking of Cronenberg, did you see the trailer for his new movie?
No.
Oh, hold on. I'll show it to you. Hold on. Let me put you on pause here real quick. All right. So the trailers for the movie's called Crimes of the Future. It has a very, to me, Hellraiser vibe to it.
Like a Clive Barker vibe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it has a Cronenberg vibe to it, but like,
Man.
it felt like watching it. I was like, with like the visuals and like some of like I was like, oh, that's very, very Clive Barker.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. Looks fucked up.
Yeah.
And we'll see what. Yeah. Looks interesting.
Will you rush out to a theater to see a Cronenberg movie?
No. I'll
No.
wait for it to come out.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. I'm just curious. Like, I mean, you know.
I mean, I like Cronenberg, but I'm not.
Yeah.
Not. I mean, we'll see. It'll probably, if it catches buzz, then we'll probably go see it.
Yeah.
If it doesn't catch buzz, then
I know he's premiering it at the Cannes Film Festival.
Really?
Yeah. Which I thought was interesting.
Yeah.
But yeah, so
So how many theaters is he actually going to release it in?
5.
Oh, really?
I have no idea.
13.
Yeah. Yeah. One every third state.
Yeah.
You know.
You have to bring a dead rabbit in order to fucking see it.
Yeah. I just found it interesting. I was like, because I saw the trailer for it. Like, again, it's like that oddball thing of like my phone listens to me.
Yeah.
So I've been talking about David Cronenberg, and all of a sudden, like, hey, you might be interested in. It's like this trailer. I'm like, what the fuck?
You're right. Why would you show me this?
Yeah.
On Easter?
On Easter. Oh.
Daddy, why is that ear? Why is that guy have ears on top of his head? I can answer that.
I don't know. I don't know.
Why is that guy's mouth sewn shut? I don't know.
Your guess is as good as mine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why did that guy have that scary zipper
I have
face?
Like
From Nightbreed.
yeah, yeah. I mean, like it's like, oh man, I'm just watching it, going, what the fuck?
Yeah, it's definitely like one of those movies where you're like,
And how did he get Viggo Mortensen into this?
yeah, I'm gonna take a bath in holy water. I shouldn't even have watched this thing. I shouldn't even have watched this.
Yeah, this is too much.
There's something wrong with this.
Oh. All right. Well, anything like to add to proceedings there, sir?
No, man, I'm good.
Well, remember there are a number of different ways you can reach out and touch us.
Hey.
I can send us an email like Thad does. And by the way, I want to send my condolences to Thad. Gilbert Gottfried passed away this week.
Yeah.
Comedic genius in his own way.
Yeah.
Can't deny that.
Yeah.
But you send us an email like Thad does each and every week, and an email address is pittsburghnerd@yahoo.com. That's pittsburghnerd@yahoo.com. You can also find us on Twitter right now. I don't think we're on Facebook any longer. I have to double check that.
Did you take it off?
No, it's that whole thing. Like the account I have, there's like saying we're discontinuing these types of accounts. You have to create a new one. So I'm going to create a group at some point and just go from there. But you just search Pittsburgh Nerd Podcast. We're very, very easy to find, and we are a member of a number of podcasting networks. You can find us on the Tangent Bound Network, the Weeby Geeks Network, and the Pod Breed Network. Just give me a Google search. You can find all the other great podcasts they have to offer. And lastly, as always, want to thank you, dear listener, for checking us out each and every week. We can't thank you enough for that. Your support means the world to us. Yeah. And so on that note, the dreamer has awakened.
Peace.